Kagurabachi chapter 112. Wow, what a chapter. Oh my gosh. I mean, you know me. 10 out of 10, of course. There's an elephant in the room. Hey, not yet. Not yet. No. Anyways, I loved this chapter, and even thinking about it makes me feel actually insane a little bit. Oh my gosh. So good. Unlike the usual, I will not have my audio reaction to this chapter at the way end of the video past the address of the nations like normal. But before you get the pitchforks out, before you do that, it's because I will have a separate video with a face cam reaction. Woo! I'll talk about that more at the end of the video in the outro, but for now, just know that's a thing. And subscribe, perhaps, so you can catch that when it comes out. So I think we just get right into it. Let's start talking about chapter 112. So, open the chapter, immediately met by 4 days later. Gagged. Not what I was expecting at all. So that was interesting. And then you've got Soga's whole deal, declaring war, floating over Japan. Oh, oh my gosh. Absolutely terrifying. Absolutely so exciting. And I'm just so eager to watch all of this unfold. I feel so giddy. It is like such a good time to be a Kagurabachi fan because it's just like everything on earth that could be happening is happening. And it's so unbelievably exciting and scary. And Iori was absolutely breaking my heart in this beginning portion with all of her expressions and just all the stuff going on with her. Bums me out real bad, but like, I mean, it looks gorgeous, of course. And seeing Chihiro without his trench coat is like, whew, jump scare. I love it though. He looks real spiffy without the coat and just the button up and the tie. I like it. And then the fucking quiet ass reveal of there still being a chance to save Samura it's so funny to me. Like, my brain jumps to this in like the anime format. Iori being bummed out and then Musubi being like, hey, and then Chihiro's just way in the back. There's a chance. Like, armored titan and colossal reveal. Like, I can see the potential now. Ooh, guys, we have new sword information, which you know is not exactly my forte, but this is the Kagurabachi girl. I've got to bring it up, of course. We have a name for the black sword powers now, which is called Dark Powers. A fitting name. And I do find it interesting that Kunishige couldn't even fathom this dark power, considering all of the Shinuchi's powers use dark power. And like, he's the one that made it. So like, I'm not trying to make an accusation there even. Just I am genuinely intrigued that he didn't fathom it, but also made it in the first place. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I think it's super neat. And I like this optimism from Chihiro that he has going on here about the chance that Samura can be revived. It really makes him feel his age. Just him and Iori are two kids trying to cope that Samura's death can possibly be reversed. And just the wording of all of it, it could just be wishful thinking, but there's grounds to believe that. I just really like how young that all sounds. It sounds very, like, I don't even want to say childish, but just youthful, and I like it. And on the topic of Samura's death possibly being reversed, I don't have a strong opinion either way, to be honest. Because, of course, I love Samura, and if he somehow returns, there is room for that to be, like, obviously extremely hype and exciting. Like, if he pulls up, you know me, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, okay? But I can also understand the argument that this kind of undermines his sacrifice a bit. On the flip side of that, he is still gone now, and will be for a while, for sure. So he still did give up a lot. His daughter is without him, and the sacrifice is still tragic, and I think still has a weight to it because of that. But also, the possibility of him being able to come back means him and Iori might get their happy ending after all. Which, in that case, everyone's kind of happy, because A lot of people were upset that Samuro is dead, so they can't get their happy ending. But now we can have both of those coexist. Maybe. I don't know. It's all a big what if, because Chihiro could be wrong. Granted, I don't think he is, and I don't think this is planted for nothing. Unless it is like they are hopeful, and then it doesn't happen, and it's like, damn, their like naiveness and hopefulness of all of it bit them in the ass. That could also be it. I'm really curious to see where this information goes, because there's room to do a lot of things with it. I am neutral on this whole thing, though, because it will be a while until this could actually come to fruition. I feel like so much has to happen before then, and things could be so different by then. So it's really hard to gauge right now, especially because we don't even have any clue what's going to happen fucking next chapter, let alone, like, however far down the line Samuro would get revived. We have no idea what's going on right now. It's all so up in the air that you really cannot accurately judge anything like this, because it's just like, you can't predict anything right now. At least not accurately. And this whole conversation between Chihiro, Iori, and the Masumi is great. I really like it. Iori trying to break Tobe Mune over her knee was sad, but also gold. It was pretty funny. I don't know. I really liked it. This whole interaction was great. And then we get Soga for one brief page. He has a new fit on, not the one that he stole from the mannequin. It looks similar to his war outfit, actually. I'm not sure if it's the exact same, but it is definitely similar. Inspired, for sure. Unless they just went and dug his fit out of a vault. I don't know. At this point, I'm going to guess that Soga got his actual body back and was freed from the dungeon. That's my best guess. Yura probably has his body back, I think. There's no reason for Soga to have it if Soga's the one calling the shots now. So I'm going to guess that he probably got let out of the dungeon and Yura has his body back. I don't think we should be too worried about that. At least I think. That's my opinion. We have no idea. That's me using my context clues, my best guess. So that's my logic. And in this moment with Soga, it's very brief, but he does reflect on Samura's last words. The war cursed us. Chihiro dispelled that curse. He'll dispel yours too. And Soga thinks to himself, curse? What I got from the war was a lesson. And we see baby Chihiro. A cute baby, I think. I think he was a cute baby. And there is blood on his little blankie. I think. I'm going to guess that's blood. So that's even more questions we're asking now. I've seen people wonder what this means for Chihiro's mom. And I'm going to be so extremely honest right now. I have always thought she's Bones. I have always assumed that she is very extremely deceased. I've truly never once thought that she was kicking out there somewhere. Like, she gets brought up in, like, what is it, like chapter 12 with the keep a cool head. Now I'm going to fact check myself. Does the bocce girl have what it's got? Can I talk the talk, walk the walk? Let's see. That is not chapter 12. Is it chapter 14, maybe? Yeah, okay, chapter 14. This is when he brings up the mom, right? Yes, there we go. Kunishige says, you're logical like your mom, Chihiro. You're so serious, and that's why. Okay, so I guess he wasn't talking completely in the past tense, but I just kind of assumed that she's not around anymore. But this new panel of baby Chihiro kind of gives us a hint, maybe, that it may have happened in childbirth if she is Bones, which I think she is. But, I mean, who knows? It's vague throughout the whole entire thing. Especially this panel as well. Like, there's blood on the baby blankie, but, like, we still don't know what the fuck that means. It's definitely a start. We're definitely planting seeds to questions that we will get answered, perhaps. Who knows? This whole ending segment with Chihiro starting to forge, peak. Oh my gosh. The build up to all of it, the progression, him finally following in his dad's footsteps like he wanted to with forging and not fighting. The papers with new N10 and new Cloud Gouger written down on it. So fucking hype. And the whole, what kind of blade should I make? It feels so full circle and like such a good moment for Chihiro. And of course, this ending segment tops it off with Kagurabachi Part 1 End. Oh my gosh. When I tell you, gag of the century. Oh my gosh, it was so insanely hype. I felt so many different emotions at once reading that, and it still makes me actually feel crazy thinking about it. I love this reveal so much. And of course, this was the elephant in the room at the beginning of the video. Because, like, what? Nobody saw that coming, I feel like. I mean, I sure didn't. So, like, wow. That was crazy. Once again, we have found ourselves with another divisive chapter a little bit. So I just want to talk about this because I've seen a decent chunk of people not fond of the way we have, quote unquote, glossed over some things. But I think, just like last week, we need to wait some things out. Like, a lot of people were quick to judge Samura for abandoning his daughter, just for Chihiro to straight up say to Iori this chapter, Mr. Samura never gave up on his life with you. Immediate 1 week turnaround, okay? And it's not always going to be that quick, but that's that, right? Like, sure, this is the part 1 end, but we don't know exactly what that means. I'm interpreting it as this is a turning point. This is a shift in the story. This doesn't exactly confirm that we're going to get a lengthy time skip or anything. And we could always flash back to any conversations that were had immediately after the Kaminabi invasion ended. But honestly, I'm not really sure if we need to be honest. Like, realistically, so many characters plopped into one room and their buddy just died. It's kind of hard to imagine how that interaction would have even gone, to be honest. And I think it probably would have been a little awkward. I hate to make this comparison because whatever Hokuzono would have conjured up would be 10 times better than this example I'm about to give. But take Will in Stranger Things coming out for an example. You've got a room full of people, only half the characters have a connection with him. So, like, say Chihiro starts breaking down about how it's his fault that Samura's dead, and it's like a really emotional moment, and then you've got Natsuki in the corner like, who the fuck is this kid? Like, who is this guy? So, like, sure, it would have been nice to see some more of the emotional fallout of all this, I guess, but you know what? We don't know if we're not gonna get that. We might have just skipped past it for now, or we'll get filled in on the important things that did happen. I think any of the plan-making stuff, and even some of this emotional stuff, can be expedited if it's done properly. We just haven't seen that yet. We don't know, so it's kind of hard to judge that, right? I think. Honestly, I kind of like where we picked up, even if it's not what I was expecting at all. There was the whole issue of Iori being separate from the rest of the group. So if we didn't have this chapter start off with Iori and then Chihiro walking in 4 days later, that would be a whole different issue that people would complain about. Because why would we see these other characters' reactions to Samura's death before Iori's, his own literal daughter? So, yeah, as of now, we didn't get immediate aftermath of the stuff that just went down. But honestly, I think, boohoo, whatever. Next chapter is a complete wild card. So get excited. Get excited. This chapter is so exciting. We have opened a door. I guess we've closed a door, opened a whole nother one. Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen? It's absolutely balls to the wall crazy. So get excited. Let's not mourn what is possibly missing, and instead, maybe let's just celebrate and get super fucking excited. Yeah. And for the missing pieces that we have in that 4-day time frame after the invasion, I encourage fan fiction writers to take a swing at those. This is prime real estate for you. So, like, get writing. Boom. Community. Togetherness. Yippee. And also, if you didn't like that part 1 reveal, you have no fun and no whimsy, and you should get that checked out. Whew, that's all I got. So, predictions for next chapter. I have no fucking clue. We are once again left with so many questions. Low-key, even more than before. So, that's that. We have this question of if there will be a time skip at all. Personally, I don't think there will be a significantly long time skip. But I think I'm kind of in the minority here. So, let me explain why I think if there is a time skip, it will be a few months tops. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Whatever. That's the fun of throwing these things out there because it's all one big question mark. So I personally feel like the situation going on currently is so urgent. Like, Soga declared that he wants to kill Hakuri. I don't think he's gonna let Hakuri just chill out for like 2 years, for example. And Soga also said that he should have cut Chihiro's head off, knowing that he is going to grow into a more serious threat. So he may try to preemptively stop that reality where Chihiro is able to beat him too. Also, I do think there is a significance in Soga being 18 during the war and Chihiro being 18 now trying to defeat him, because we just got that Soga age reveal. So I think why draw attention to that and then age Chihiro up a couple years right after that? And the cast of Kagurabachi is already older than the typical shonen cast. The majority of the side cast is pushing 40 years old. And I'm not going to call that incredibly old or anything, but they are what the youth would consider unk status. You know what I mean? So I think aging them up even more would just be kind of silly. But we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Next chapter, I am hoping that we will get some glimpses of the side cast after all of this, because I love all of the characters so much. So I'd love to see them all after this shift of energy that we have had. But it really is impossible to predict what this next chapter will be, because it's just like, is there going to be a time skip? Will there not be one? Because there doesn't have to be one. It could be part 1 ends, part 2 begins with Chihiro forging the swords. That would make sense to me. Like, that is a shift in the story. But also, low-key, I think it would be the perfect time to give us that Seitai War flashback. Now hear me out. Chihiro's forging, other people are probably training, getting geared up to fight Soga again. What better time than to give us a flashback? I think, but we'll see. Who knows? Subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe. My AC went out again. Isn't that crazy? So subscribe, because I'm sweating right now. I know it's February, but I live in Florida, so it's hot. Like, as well. Like this video. Like, I like Kagurabachi, like you like Kagurabachi, and comment as well, because oh my gosh, the Lord knows there is so much to talk about. And like I mentioned earlier, I will have a second video up for chapter 112, so keep an eye out. I'm hoping to post that tomorrow, so Monday. Basically, I decided to give face cam reactions a shot because I feel limited by throwing it at the end of the video. So if I do it this way, it means it won't be limited to like the highlights, and I can kind of keep everything. So we're gonna see how that works for a few weeks to decide if we should do it permanently or not. So that's cool. Also, I opened channel members up as well, and I don't really have any promised perks yet or anything. But if you want to show your support, you can always become a channel member. Maybe I'll throw your name at the end on like a little thank you screen or something. So if you want your name at the end of a video, I guess, then become a channel member, because you're supporting me and that's cool. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye. But we're not done. We're gonna address the nations before my camera dies. Shit. Kagurabachi Nation. Everybody, get fucking hype. Get hype. Oh my gosh, my camera's dying. Chihiro Nation. Yes. Yeah, he's like his daddy. Hakuri Nation, I miss him. Where's he at? Aruha Nation, where the fuck is he? I miss him. Natsuki Nation, I miss him. Where's he at? Azami Nation, I hope his arms are sewn back on. That'd be great. Hirihiko Nation, if there's a time skip and he comes back with the fuck-ass bob, I don't know if I'd be happy or like, whoa. I'm gonna call it though. If there's a time skip, Hirihiko's getting a new haircut. And that's kind of exciting.